afternoon. Welcome to the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. Buy one medium or large pizza, get the second 50% off. Matt Iwanyk, Hernan, Salas with here on the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. As I said, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Nice. Yep. Oh, that's Coke. That's like a pop. I thought you were drinking some wine already.
No.
Like, good for you.
I don't drink.
We're live on Edmonton Sports Talk on our audio streams, edmontonsportstalk.com, tune in, iHeartRadio, live on YouTube as well as wherever you get your podcast. We greatly appreciate it. Lots to get to on the show today as the Oilers. Big win against the Colorado Avalanche yesterday. They get set for the Dallas Stars tomorrow. But there's also the big story of Nathan MacKinnon. Lots to get to. Hernan, your partner in crime, Walking Gage. I'm looking forward to his thoughts on EST afternoons because Tuukka Rask yesterday as a former goalie said he didn't think it was 5. So we'll get into all of that. But how are you doing today, this afternoon? How are you? I haven't been able to really talk to you too much yet today.
I'm good.
Yeah?
Had some chips, splash of Coke. It doesn't get any better than that.
A little bit of wine in that Coke would be better. Or more wine than Coke, right?
I was playing the video game 1941.
Never heard of it.
It's good. Yeah.
That's all you have?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Ready for the
man.
World Baseball Classic today?
Yes, 1:00. How can you not be excited? Oilers are back. Jari's the number 1 again. It's not a care in the world anymore.
We just it's all happy. You've got some audio playing right there.
I do. That's that came in hot.
Even weather-wise, what are we looking at here? 1 is 0 right now. Going to go to a high of 3. The next 3 days cooler.
Yeah.
-8, -9, -9. But then -1, -1, 8 next Tuesday right now.
8.
Yeah, maybe we're on that.
Ooh,
like
maybe
this. Could this be the last little bit?
I don't know if you know this, but I run, so I might start running outside.
I need. It's too icy for me still where I run. I got to do that more this year. I hate the treadmill. I just can't do it on the treadmill. Can't stand the treadmill.
Treadmill's the worst. I hate it too.
Yeah, well, Project Dumpling's going. How's your running going?
I'm a little hurt right now. Every
Are
time
you?
I run, I get like a really bad pain behind my knee, which is weird. But
That doesn't sound good.
like I played soccer on Monday, and during the game I was fine. But it's all after. So
Have you booked a doctor's appointment?
no, you just raw dog it. Hope it gets better.
Yeah, because that's the right thing to do when it comes to
some
the
ice.
body is not go get it checked out.
Put some ice on it. Tough power through it. So yeah.
I will say Advantage Sports Medicine, who sponsor of the station, love the change that they've gone through. It's the Sather Read. Now, they basically, I'm seeing Crush next week. They're basically, it seems like, taking over the Glenn Sather that we used to have at the U of A that was shut down at the beginning of the year, which was a huge disappointment. But it was one of the best spots to go to for any sports injuries, especially. And that's where I would suggest maybe trying to get an appointment there. They're doctors. I think they were able to get some of those doctors that were at the Sather to be at this new Sather one. I'll have to get the full details from Crusher next week. But I'm looking forward to that one because it's that we need that one in the city. And if that's how I got my shoulder diagnosed was doctor couldn't figure it out. Went to physio, tried a bunch of things, got to Glen Sather, they figured it out immediately. So for any sports injury, that's going to be the place that I'll probably that's the place you have to go.
My doctor is Google.
That sounds like the
terrible
idea.
I guess it could be just a strain on the calf too, right? So just gonna take some time here, ice it, do some stretching on it. It'll be back to normal in no time.
That's the attitude. I'll take that one.
Who has
Oilers
time to go to the doctors?
Oilers win yesterday. What's the biggest story for you? The Nathan MacKinnon play, the Oilers beating the Avalanche. The way Jari played in relief, especially right off the bat, statement win type thing. What do you look at as the biggest story from yesterday for you right now?
So it's the win, obviously. Like going into this road trip, there wasn't a lot of confidence in this team, and you got to give them credit. They played well. I mean, the first period, what is it, 32 seconds in, it's 1-0. You're like, oh man, not this.
Gonna be one of those nights. Relive the 9-1 all over again.
And then they were able to survive that first period, get out of it tied on a brilliant play by Draisaitl late. Colorado's probably kicking themselves for that. Yeah, and they stuck with it, man. They came back twice. The 5-minute major, whatever they had on it on the power play. Too cute at times. Like, just get pucks to the net. But they made it count on their late power play there. Just a brilliant play by the two best players right now, and Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So you got to give it the win. And I think things are looking good. They're going to get 3 wins. I think they're going to split the next 2 games. So that's an excellent road trip for this team that after that Friday game against the Canes, man, it was not looking good. So good for them. They've stepped up. They've met the challenge straight on, and they've passed with flying colors the last 2 games.
Now, will you be saying the same thing possibly on Friday if they lose big to Dallas? Like I threw this out with Eric and Belzy. Will there be easier to digest a loss to the Stars? Obviously, dependent. 6-0, it's not going to be digestible. But a good hockey game, like let's say a loss to the Stars like there was to the Hurricanes. Will that be easily digestible on the station on Friday, you think? Because it would be then a 2-2
100%. 100%. If let's say they lose 5-3 with the empty netter, but they were right there the whole time. Like, that's good. Like, it's not good, but you're not going to be like, oh my, this team's over. We got to trade everybody. You got to fire the coach. You got to fire the GM. I think you got to accept the fact that the Oilers will lose some games, and potentially they could lose Thursday or Friday. But I think we have to look at the overall 4-game road trip and how they did in that. Because if they go 3-1 and the one loss, Matty, is they played well. The other team was just 1 goal better. How can you be upset about that?
Because we live in a market where it's just the things change.
I know.
That's where I'm fascinated. Like, I don't want it to happen, but if the Oilers lose a close one, I'd just be fascinated if you were, well, how much of that rational take will occur, or how much craziness will take over. It's also going to be interesting to see we're going to find out the status on Ingram rather quickly here.
Yeah.
Because you have a back-to-back. It's not like you could just run Jari for a number of games here. You're going to need someone else to play in one of those 2 games, and likely on that, I think you go Jari right now with Dallas, and then somebody for St. Louis, and we're going to find out.
Pickard.
Yeah, but then that means now Ingram is hurt, right?
That's okay.
Is it?
You should be able to survive these last, 18, 17 games with Pickard and Jari if he's out for any amount of time.
But Ingram, we have said for a while, it gives you the best chance to win.
Yes, he's their number 1.
So,
but then you have 2 guys that have played as number 1s. Well,
but will they? That's like I'll say this. I'd be fascinated to see how Calvin Pickard will play after being in the minors for a little bit.
Yeah, he's probably pissed off.
Yes.
I'd expect him to play well. And the team's playing better defensively. PK's better. Power play's always been the power play. Looks like Knob's finally figuring out some damn lines and sticking to them. So for me, it's like I don't want Ingram hurt. Of course I don't. No. I think he's their best goaltender.
But you're not as worried about the injury derailing the next X amount of games if he's out.
No. Because if you play solid in front of your goaltender, hey, you don't have to depend on them so heavily. Now, are they going to have to bail you out from time to time? Sure, 100%. But I have faith in Pickard coming up and being able to win some games. I know he hasn't had the best season and all that, but he's done it in the past for this team in bigger moments in the playoffs. Jari came in cold, made 2 good saves right off the hop, was good in the 3rd period. Hopefully for him, it's turning that corner as well.
In the inbox, 780-218-9999. Hampton Steve, the one thing about this Oiler team is they're consistently inconsistent. Look how much they struggled to win more than 2 games in a row this season. However, if they can string together a few more stronger defensive games, then I'd feel much better about them. Haji also said, this is the perfect opportunity to bring Pickard up without having to deal with waivers. Let's see if he gets his game back on track. Wouldn't it be something if it's an Ingram Pickard 1-2 for the playoffs?
Or a Pickard Jari.
Well,
I think
you wouldn't want that because that would mean that Ingram's out for a long period of time.
And Ingram obviously was going to get pulled by the spotter. Obviously, they weren't going to bring him back. He looked a little, I wouldn't say woozy there, but
it's probably bloody.
It's probably more precautionary at that point, saying, hey, we trust Jari. Let's just roll with him in the 3rd here, see if we can pull this one on. They did. And now you don't have to rush Ingram back because you have a guy in Jari who's probably feeling pretty good after that game. Hey, I played a good, what was it? 20 plus minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
So baby steps, right? So a good period for Tristan Jarry. Hopefully that can lead into his next game. Tristan Jarry will win again, Matthew. So why not Thursday if he gets the start? And you're probably going to him right now.
Today was a travel day, I believe, for those. I didn't check.
Yeah, I think it is.
So I don't think they would hit the ice at all.
Or they traveled. They traveled last night?
It's full travel. No, it's travel day today.
Okay, so they won't hit the ice. We won't know until tomorrow.
Well, and that's like we have to find out some details about a few things. But yeah, you want to hear from Chris Knobloch about what are the statuses, because look, it's a week and 7 days away, I think, till the last regular season game for the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, clock's ticking. You want to make sure players are healthy and getting going as soon as possible. Okay, we're talking about Ingram, so might as well get into how he's out of this game. Your thoughts on the play?
Tune in to EST Afternoons at 1 for my thoughts.
Can you give it to me in like 30 seconds or so? Okay, but was that 5 in your eyes?
No, 100% not a major, man. Like, come on. It's not. And on ESC Afternoons, I have some still shots. We're going to show the play. Listen, it's a fast play, man. It's a guy that's not known for that. He's going to the net, trying to score, okay, at full speed. Darnell Nurse, again, not at fault. He's trying to make a play on one of the best players in the world to not score on his team. I was telling Joaquin, it was the perfect storm. And unfortunately, Connor Ingram got caught in it, okay? That's all it is. And I don't think it was... I think it's still 2 because I think he still makes contact with Ingram, but I think Nurse hitting him, and again, wasn't intentional. He's just trying to make a play. It's fast. The body goes where the body wants to go. It goes right into MacKinnon. I think the impact created by Darnell Nurse crashing into MacKinnon makes the play that much more worse. The blood, all that. So I thought it was 2 minutes, and I'll stick with it. And listen, for the older fans out there that were, oh, you're stupid, Hernan, blah, 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 and how can you say it's not 5? Flip it. If that's McDavid on Devin Taves and Mackenzie Blackwood, you would be screaming bloody murder if McDavid got 5 in a game for that play. Because you would say, and don't say you wouldn't, you would say Devin Taves pushed him in. Now, he was still in the crease. He was still going to make contact, I think. So it's 2 minutes.
Yeah, Belzy said that he thinks there would have been contact likely, but he also felt that he thought MacKinnon also had a chance if Darnell Nurse doesn't fall into him, that he might actually miss Ingram, that he might actually be able to skate around, and he was looking at the skate angles of where he was going. I do stand by, though, that it's fascinating seeing the amount of former NHLers who have spoken on this, all saying it's not 5. Yeah. And Tuukka Rask was on the TNT panel yesterday.
Yeah.
He said it wasn't 5. Luke Gazdic said it wasn't 5. Belzy saying it's not 5. I'm fascinated to hear what Gager has to say on EST Afternoons. But there's a lot of people that have played this game that have been in those situations that have said, no, that's not 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so that's where the fact that there's not even a split happening, that's what's giving me the pause to go, okay, well, what I did. There's not too often I generally sit there and go, I just want to defer to the players.
Yeah.
This is one of those situations I feel like they would know better than anyone else what's going on.
Yeah.
And they're all sitting there saying that's not a 5 minute. That's part of the game. Well, that's Nathan MacKinnon just playing hard. He's going hard to the net. Would you want him to not play as hard?
Yeah.
This is what you're expecting. He does this time and time again. He's not known to having done this before. It's not a situation where this is the 3rd or 4th time Nathan MacKinnon's ran over a goalie and knocked them out of a game. And that, with Belzy, breaking down the film, looks like he was trying to move. And if it wasn't for Darnell Nurse, he may not have hit him at all.
That's the thing, right? And we'll never know. I found these wicked still shots on the line of the play, and you take it for what it's worth, man. I mean, it's a fast game. We have the luxury of still shots and slowing it down, Matthew, right? The refs, I was surprised they were looking at it that long. I'm like, wow, they're really going to kick him out after it took over 5 minutes to look at it, right? And Coach Bednar, he's going to bat for his guys. Of course he will, but I don't think he was wrong either. He goes, the impact is caused because Darnell Nurse makes contact with Nathan MacKinnon. That's why the impact was so big. Could there have been impact if Darnell Nurse doesn't do that? Sure, but I'm It's likely, Matthew, not as impactful. Ingram's probably not out of the game. He's probably not bleeding. Okay, so, and like, come on, man. Like, yeah, MacKinnon wants to go hurt Connor Ingram. Really? Really? Like, some people are saying, like, oh, no, they want to take the goalie out. Really? Connor Ingram is who MacKinnon wants to take out?
Yeah, I don't think the Avs are worried about many goaltenders. And I don't care about how well Ingram has been playing for the Oilers. I don't think the Avs look at it and go, this is a goalie we need a knockout, otherwise we're not winning this hockey game. Mm-hmm. I think there's other goalies at the end of the Avs and Nathan MacKinnon would be looking more at and going, yeah, that guy needs to get out. We're live in the Popeyes studio, which is brought to you by Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, featuring 5-piece nuggets, fried pickles, mini chicken wrap, mini chicken sandwich, blackened cauliflower, all for $4. They're the perfect snackable items that could round out your favorite Popeyes meal.
Sorry, this one says disagree. I don't think Nurse changed MacKinnon's trajectory. What are you talking about? Watch the replay. He's going like this, yeah, and he
just towards
across the crease, and he's probably going to make contact, and then he goes.
His angle changes.
His angle changes right into it. Obviously, his trajectory changed. What are you talking about?
Do you have video of that?
No.
Oh, well, like for EST Afternoons. Is that this stuff you have?
Yes.
Okay, stay tuned for EST Afternoons. Watch it on the YouTube. Highlights, lowlights. You guys will have the full video for that one.
You can't say that. And I loved was it Belzy who said, he goes, players go to the net all the time.
Yes.
He goes, you want that to stop. And sometimes, and you know what's crazy, Matthew? That you don't see that a lot. The goalie getting hit that hard.
No.
So it's not like it's something that happens often. Players know what they're doing. You know, it's a
they're
fast
in control.
game. Yeah, but you're telling me MacKinnon going top speed and then he gets bumped in the hip is not going to change his trajectory. Really? Like, come on. Like, it's okay, guys. If you think it's 5, it's 5, okay? I'm not going to argue all day about this. I thought it was 2 minutes at the most. I don't think it was a 5-minute penalty. And to kick him out of the game. And in a sense, I want to see best on best. Kind of ruined it a little bit. Awesome for the Oilers. They weren't complaining. So, but you don't want to see the best players kicked out of the game.
But if they deserve it, they deserve it.
Of course.
I'll stand by that. If they deserve to get kicked out, I don't care. They don't get the pass. They have to go out. It is just interesting to me that there's just so many players that are going, like, yeah, probably would have still maybe ran into Ingram, which then would have made it a penalty. But the fact is that this, including goalies, saying that's not a 5-minute major. That is a 2-minute penalty. Nathan MacKinnon should stay in that hockey game. But in the end, the Edmonton Oilers, they benefit with MacKinnon out. They win that hockey game. They don't benefit by scoring on that 5-minute major, which is a shame. That's something, with such an elite power play, you'd like them to kind of close that out. Mm-hmm. Didn't happen. Here's a question I threw Belzy and Eric in the hangout that I'll now throw your way. And there's 3 parts to this. Because the Oilers are playing better hockey. Like we've actually seen over the last little bit, they've been playing better hockey. A nice win for the Avs. Could this be that nice signature win that they could really build off of? Going, look, we just beat the Avs.
Yeah,
go forward. Avs best of 7 series tomorrow between the Oilers and the Avalanche. Who are you taking?
Are the Avs healthy?
They're at what they're at right now. They're kind of at where they are because you can make the argument: are the Oilers healthy then in that sense? With some of those players, Eberson banged up yesterday, Colton Dach banged up yesterday. I guess, but who are you taking right now if you had to between those two?
I think in a 7-game series, I think Colorado wins because they're one of the top defensive teams. And
Dallas?
Sorry?
Dallas? Oilers, Dallas.
Ooh. This one, I'll be honest, Matthew, it depends on the health of the Dallas Stars. If they have Faxa, if they have Rantanen, if they have Rupe Hintz, I'd give the edge to Dallas. The way they are now, I think the Oilers can take them.
Belzy and Eric had the same thing. They were taking Stars. Oilers. I was taking Stars. I think the Oilers actually have a better chance against the Avs than they do against the Stars. Wild.
Ooh, I think Edmonton.
Really?
Yeah.
That one surprises me because it seems like Minnesota kind of has a style of play that works against this Oiler team.
Yeah, I just think the Oilers have more playoff pedigree than the Wild at this point. I think all these series would be incredibly close, but I think the Oilers can beat the Wild.
Penner's Pancakes, preference to play 1 Stars, 2 Avs, 3 Wild.
Yeah.
How would you order that?
I'd probably go Wild, Stars, Avalanche.
And I would go Stars, Avs, Wild. No, Avs, Stars. No, Avs are number 1. I said that one. Avs. I don't know. Stars versus Wild. I'd probably go Avs, Wild, Stars. No, I got to put the Stars ahead of the Wild just because the Oilers do actually have a history of beating the Stars.
Because you got to think the Avs and the Stars are missing incredibly important players right now. So it is, it could change. It could change the answer to your question, Matthew, if all those guys return. Because if you look at Landeskog and Arturi Lehkonen back on the Avs, that center depth is ridiculous. If Dallas Stars start to play out,
Rantanen should be coming back.
Yeah, Rupe Hintz,
Is it the question mark?
who's a bottom 6 guy, but he's a guy they use a lot. I think it changes that too. But there's something about the Stars. I don't know the playoffs. Is this their year? I mean, is it Glenn Gulletson? Is he the one to get him over that hump? Minnesota, I think, because they haven't had a lot of playoff success, Matthew, right? So I think they're there for the taking. If you're asking me Dallas, Minnesota in round 1, I'm taking Dallas.
I would too. Dallas, the 3 straight conference finals bits. I do feel like Glenn Gulletson is maybe the coach. He wasn't the right coach for them a number of years ago, has learned, has grown, and maybe is now the right coach for that organization. And that's what scares me about the Dallas Stars. I think maybe they have the right guy behind the bench. For the Avs, there's just a part of me that goes, I'm still a question mark for me of their net in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And I do look at the Colorado Avalanche and go, last couple of years, we're expecting great things from them, and they haven't even gotten to the conference final. Like, since they won the Stanley Cup, how many playoffs? Let me take a look here. The Avs. The Avs win the Stanley Cup. They've won 1 playoff series since in 3 years. They beat the Jets last year in 5, or 2 years ago in 5, but they lost to the Kraken 3 years ago. They ultimately lose to the Stars 2 years ago. They lose to the Stars in 7 last year. There's just something about the Avs right now that I'm not 100% firm on in the playoffs. But it's interesting because the Oilers are now turning into that team where if we rank the Pacific Division, not who's going to win the Pacific in the regular season, but who's the favorite to come out of the Pacific right now?
Oh, good question.
And as of right now, it would be the Golden Knights, it would be Mammoth, it would be Ducks, and it would be the Oilers. As of right now, in fact, it would be Oilers, Golden Knights, I think, in round 1, with the Ducks and the Mammoth. Yeah, Ducks, Mammoth, Oilers, Knights. So if the Oilers beat the Knights or whoever wins, that one would take on the winner of Ducks, Mammoth. How would you rank those 4? Because I know how I would.
I didn't like what I saw from Vegas on Sunday. I thought they were a shell of the team we're used to seeing. Now, they're struggling. They lost again last night. I'd probably go Ducks, Oilers.
Really?
Mammoth, Vegas.
See, Vegas is 4 for me. I have the Oilers number 1 because the Ducks and the Mammoth, they don't have that playoff experience.
Sure.
And the Oilers maybe are getting exactly hot at the exact right time if they're turning this around. If the signs we are seeing from the Edmonton Oilers right now are there, that are true, this is a team that is ready to flip that switch like we've seen the last number of years come playoff time. And I'm not worried. The Golden Knights, I'm just not worried about at this moment. And Ducks, Mammoth, okay, somebody's going to win a series, but it's not against someone with that playoff experience. And then now it's time for like the Oilers to be like, we've been here.
Yeah,
it's cute that you're here. Have fun. You'll be something to be worried about next year. But we'll see you next year. We're off to the conference finals.
And yeah, like you'd give it to, if you're going on experience, it should be Edmonton, Vegas 1-2, obviously. But if you're going off play of as of late or this season, you'd probably give it to Anaheim. They're in first place for a reason.
But I put both in there.
Yeah. But I will say this, and I think Reed said it yesterday with his guest from Colorado. He said this Edmonton, I think he can come in here and correct me, but he said this is probably the worst Oiler team they've had since they've been a contender.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Well,
it doesn't mean they're a bad team. He's just saying compared to the other teams, this one's probably the one that struggled the most. Now, they still have the high-end talent. I get it. But, yeah, I'd probably go, what did I say? Anaheim, Edmonton, Utah, Vegas right now. I'm just going on as of late because Vegas has looked Vegas is not looking good, man.
You want to know something that I would have concern about Vegas making the playoffs? That's where my concern would be with the Vegas Golden Knights right now. It's not the Edmonton Oilers. It's will the Vegas Golden Knights be able to turn this around where, like, look, the Oilers are second in the Pacific right now because of the way the Golden Knights were, that they've been playing. The Kraken have 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
They win those 2 games in hand. They're 1 point back behind the Oilers and the Golden Knights. The Kings themselves, if they win their game in hand, they're 3 points back. And if the Sharks win their 3 games in hand, they'd be tied with the Oilers and the Golden Knights. I have more confidence, though, the Oilers picking up some wins still and staying ahead of those ones. Whereas I sit there and go, I could see those teams catching Vegas, and Vegas, maybe if they're in the playoffs, they're falling to that second wild card spot. And they're going to have to go through Colorado, Minnesota, Dallas, and that ain't happening. Or they're falling out. Like, I would be way more concerned about the Vegas Golden Knights than I actually. How do you?
I don't.
Is there a way to find records? How do you find records since a certain date? I don't know that one as well.
I don't think Edmonton. I'll be honest. I don't think Edmonton's in danger.
No, I don't. I've always believed they'll be a playoff team.
Yeah, I know it got a little dicey there after Friday, but no, I think they'll be fine. It's because the West is so bad, right? Like Nashville, San Jose, LA are the 3 teams pushing. Edmonton's got 5 and 6 points on those teams. That's hard to make up, Maddie. You have to go on an incredibly bad slide for those teams to catch up. Now, San Jose, like you said, has 3 games in hand, but they got to win them. They only matter if you win them, Matthew. So, LA, I don't know, man. I think LA might be the team out. Seattle's got something cooking. Utah's been good. Vegas has got to find a way, though. They've been really, really bad. Rasmus Anderson in that game, he looked awful. Nothing compared to what we saw in Calgary. I don't know. The team just seemed off. I was not a fan of their game on Sunday night for sure. In part, the Oilers played pretty well for most of that game. But yeah, I would avoid Colorado first round.
Since the calendar has flipped, actually, I'm going to extend this. Actually, you could go since. I could add since December 17th. Now I'm playing a little cherry picking here, obviously, but I need to add 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 15. Sorry, I'm just doing some quick math here on the fly. So apologies. Since December 17th, the Vegas Golden Knights are 13, 15, and 5. So they've won 13 games and they've lost 20 in that stretch. And then you add into the fact, talked about it last week, Huss and I talked about it in the Lock Shop yesterday, the Golden Knights also are a team of teams in a playoff spot. They've won 6 games against them. 2 against the Red Wings, 2 against the Hurricanes, 1 against the Mammoth, and 1 against, I think it was the Bruins. That's it. Mm-hmm. They don't beat teams in a playoff spot. And that's where it's like, I look at that stretch that the Golden Knights have had, and it was 12, 11, and 3 since January 1st. But they had a losing skid prior to that. So me cherry picking 13, 15, and 5. This is a team that I think that says kind of who they are. And I think they're trending downwards. And there's a chance that we're talking about the Vegas Golden Knights not in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think they're
and then they're going to fire Bruce Cassidy, and Pete DeBoer is going to be back on the bench. Because Kelly McCrimmon likes to make changes.
Well, it'd be crazy if they miss for sure. But they're not playing well, man. They're not playing well. Not scoring. Like yesterday was a 2-1 game. They scored first. They're like, okay, maybe if they can beat Dallas, they can get rolling again. And they're running out of time too, right? That's why it's important for the Oilers on this road trip, and a hell of a start at 2-0. But yeah,
going for their second 3-game win streak.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Imagine doing that against Colorado. Dallas is part of it.
And I think, I'll be honest, you know me, I like to joke around on ESC afternoons about there too, but Dallas is 9-0-1 in their last 10.
Go further than that even.
Sure.
Like, when you actually look at Dallas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 wins and 2 losses in their last 15.
Yeah.
And one of those losses was against the Avs a couple of games ago in shootout 5-4. Very tight, close hockey game.
Yeah. And Ottinger's, his save percentage is under 900. He hasn't been lights out either. They have 3 key injuries, 4. Sagan's out for the year. This is a team I think the Oilers can go toe-to-toe with. Even with those other guys, I still think they can. But because usually the Oilers, they're their own worst enemy, right? They shoot themselves in the foot more often than not. But if they can clean that part up like they have in the last 2 games, why not? Can't they? I mean, I'm actually pretty confident they can beat Dallas tomorrow.
They get the Oilers, by the way, Stars, and then they get the Red Wings on Saturday. I'm taking the Stars to beat those Red Wings because I'm mad at those Detroit Red Wings.
They're due to lose. That's all I'm saying. The Stars are
and the
due
Red
to
Wings
lose.
cost the Huss and I having 7 games called right and winning 2 parlays and hockey parlays, and instead we only won 1 because the Detroit Red Wings couldn't hold on for 90 seconds. 90 seconds, and even then couldn't even hold on just to force overtime. Thanks a lot, Todd McClellan.
And I don't care if St. Louis is hot. That's a team you should beat. Go beat them. Don't mess around.
If you beat Dallas, though, you could be afforded a loss.
You're kind of playing with house money. Hey,
I can understand. It also it's like, look, I could also understand if it's, let's say, hypothetically here, we don't know if Connor Ingram's hurt, Calvin's Pickard's coming up. You know, that there is a potential there that maybe he gets beat and stuff. There's a reason he hasn't been playing well this year. As much as we want to say, yeah, it's, you know, this is the time. He hasn't played well this year enough. There's a reason he's in Bakersfield and he's not up here instead of Connor Ingram. That it does lead me to believe, you know, a way that there's a path there where I could sit there and say, you know, because of the injury that, yeah, maybe the Oilers then do falter to the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting because we know how this team sometimes gets when they feel all fat and sassy, Matthew, right? We know we're always kind of expecting it. Let's hope that's not the case and they get super duper hot here and just run off 4, 5, 6 wins in a row, and then last couple games of the year, Matthew, you can rest some of the big boys, you know? You don't have to worry about stuff like that and winning your last 3 games. Now, it'd be nice if they won the division. And it's still up for grabs, but
It is.
does that matter? Like, I'm saying it would be nice, but to me, it's not like, oh, they have make it or break it for them, right? Like,
It doesn't matter in terms of whether they're going to be successful in the playoffs or not.
Yeah.
I think we learned last year that, and look, they had home ice finally in the Stanley Cup final. They didn't win.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, you haven't won it since the 80s. You've had these talented teams. The Ducks have been poor. Now all of a sudden they come back and they win the division before you win a division. It's just that. It's a very nice to have, I would say. I'm going to run through the Oilers' schedule for the rest of the season. I don't generally like just running through schedules. But it's an interesting one. You get Dallas, St. Louis, we already know. They come back home. Nashville, San Jose, Florida, Tampa.
Ooh.
Nashville's winnable. San Jose should be winnable.
Those teams will be hungry, though, because they're fighting.
Sure. Florida, they're trying to get that bottom.
They're the Oilers' daddy right now.
They are, but they're trying to get that bottom 10. But that's going to be an interesting matchup here in town. Tampa's going to be difficult.
Yes. And they're struggling right now, too.
You go on the road for Utah, Vegas.
Ooh.
Look, Vegas is going to, those will be the teams that you're fighting for. But Utah, I'm willing to say Utah was going to be a playoff team. Big signing today for them with Nick Schmaltz, 8x8. You come back home, Anaheim, Seattle, Chicago, Vegas.
It's a tough schedule, actually.
Well, it shouldn't have been at the start of the year. We
No,
thought you'd
of course
see
not.
Anaheim, you'd see all these teams here, San Jose. You'd be like, oh, there's a bunch of wins here. You then
Nashville.
are on the road for 3, Utah, San Jose, LA, and then you finish off Colorado, Vancouver at home. So really hoping those games don't really mean anything. But, you know, it's I see you've got San Jose, you've got Vegas, you got Anaheim, you got Seattle, you got Vegas, you got San Jose, you got LA. You got 7 games in your stretch here against teams that you're fighting for playoff positioning or playoff spot with in your division. Like 4-point games coming up here down this stretch. So those are the games with the Oilers. What you want? You go 4-3. You're good. Yeah, that's the number. You're in the better spot there. But
Well,
so it's a
something.
fun schedule down the stretch for them.
It is, because a lot of those teams are in the wild card spot or fighting for a spot, fighting for positioning. So, like, every game's just going to be a gauntlet. It's going to be awesome. I love it. This is the way it should be. Go into the playoffs, kind of already playing playoff, a little bit of playoff hockey.
100%.
Why not, right? So,
And maybe just no Kings in the first round.
like, the Kings are not good. Last year I was a little worried about it. I got chirped a lot for the first round.
I was with you on
I
that
thought LA was due.
Hey, you want to know something? It was close.
It was. I mean, they blew it, but
they did. If Byfield or it clears that puck, or if Hiller doesn't call that challenge, maybe I'll go more to the Byfield. He clears that puck. It's 3-1 going to LA.
Yeah,
that series is over.
100%. And this year, if they get LA, I am not worried one bit.
No.
I think the Oilers run them out of the rink.
If the Edmonton Oilers are in the Pacific Division, they're conference finalists at minimum.
I do want to see them play Anaheim, though. I think that series would be fantastic.
The only fear I have out of that series is the coach.
Yeah.
I'm
not just that.
I'm not a fan of Joel Quenneville. I have grave issues for what he did in Chicago. But as a hockey coach, he's a brilliant hockey coach.
And not just that. There's always that one team a year that's young that will surprise.
Sure. But it's the, look, there's a lot of heat on Chris Knobloch. And I'll say this. You give Chris Knobloch criticism, not you, but fan base. Yeah. You then have to give him credit for successes too. He outcoached DeBoer in 2 straight conference finals, got to the Stanley Cup final. He has done a great job of, I think, outcoaching his competition more often than not throughout the playoffs. That's one series I would be concerned about. Like you could say Paul Maurice maybe outcoach Chris Knobloch back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. You could go there. Joel Quenneville is that type of coach. That would be I'm not worried about Dostal as much. Not worried about the young team. They're new in the playoffs. It's straight up, right off the bat, it's Joel Quenneville. Bruins fan Chris disagreeing with me. Get out of here with that conference final bleep. I'm sorry. The Oilers are.
You're allowed to think.
They have that experience. They win in the playoffs. I don't care. The regular season doesn't matter as long as you're in the playoffs. It's a brand new season. Everyone's at 0 wins, 0 losses. And this Edmonton Oilers team, especially with what we're seeing over the last number of games against really good competition too. This is a team. Look, I'll even go. They should have beat the Ducks a couple of weeks ago. I'm not worried about a 7-game series against the Anaheim Ducks. I'm not worried about a 7-game series against the Vegas Golden Knights, against the LA Kings, against the San Jose Sharks, against the Seattle Kraken. The actually only team I'm more nervous about. I'd maybe be a little nervous about the Utah Mammoth. But even then, I'm not really that nervous. The Oilers are going to take care of advantage in a 7-game series. So, I guess here's the thing, Bruins fans. What would you rank the Pacific Division? If I said the Pacific Division right now, it's the Ducks, it's the Golden Knights, it's the Oilers, and it's the Mammoth. How would you rank who's coming out of those 4 to a conference finals? I'd just like to know your definition of that one. Hampton Steve says the Ducks remind him of 2017 Oilers, a young team that's going to catch some veteran teams in the playoffs. Could easily see them being the team coming out of the Pacific.
Yeah, but
which is kind of what you were saying.
And I've kind of been saying it all year, just when this team was built in the summer into training camp and preseason and the season. There's just been something a little bit off about this team for most of the year. And 2 games, for me, doesn't change it. Listen, good for them. They've won these 2 games. It's been good defensive game. They've gotten the saves. They're playing the right way. But 2 games is not going to entirely change my mind on this team. I got to see it for longer stretches. And I just think, Maddie, I said they'd be a playoff team. I said they wouldn't go far. And to me, it's like 2nd round max. And I'm still on that one. I just think this is not their year. There's something just a little bit off about this team.
It's not their year, but it's conference finals. That's where that's where I believe at this moment, especially with what I've seen currently. I do think that the Edmonton Oilers, I will still gladly take the Central Division if I had to guess right now. But I think there's that path is there for the conference finals. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And look, Bruins fan Chris, we're going both ways with busting your balls on this one. He's saying I just love busting your balls on the topic. That's all I'm saying. My opinion, Bruins going to win the Stanley Cup this year, which would be an incredible story. That's what what would be the alternative for the Oilers winning? I'm not saying winning the West, getting to the conference final. It's different. We're not 1 through 8. 1 through 8, the Oilers would have to take care of business likely through a Wild, a Stars, or an Avs. Mm-hmm. Actually, they'd probably have to play them in round 1. They would actually have to play them in round 1. Because it would be Colorado. No, they went. Colorado would be number one. Well, I guess because we had that 3 division stuff. Let's just go Ducks 2. Then it would be Stars, Wilds. Then it'd be the Oilers. Yeah, they would miss them if we did it that way.
Mm-hmm.
The Oilers would have to go through one of them in the second round, which would be a lot different. But it's not that case. The Pacific Division looks a little bit easier, and we'll see how that all plays out. Again, the Oilers, they are in Dallas tomorrow. They were travel day today, so we don't have any news on them. And we'll find out a little bit more tomorrow. He's Hernan Salas. I'm Matt Iwanyk. This is the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza, live right here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Boston Pizza, buy one medium or large, get a second at 50% off. I did not say the Bruins are going to win the Stanley Cup. AH_1995. That was Bruins fan Chris in our inbox that said that one. I was just reading his text. That was not from me. I don't have a prediction. I'm just going to go Sabres win the Cup. It'd be a great story, wouldn't it? Tomorrow, Tommy will be at Boston Pizza, 170th by West Edmonton Mall, across the street from West Ed. He'll be there for pre and post game. Friday, he's going to be at the Ice House downtown, as it will be the pre-party for the Heavy Hockey Showdown, which will be taking place on Saturday. But the pre-party goes Friday down at the community rink. We've got a silent auction that will be going on. If you go to heavyhockey.com/heavyhockey-showdown, you get all the details. It's $10 to get to that pre-party, and then the event does go 1 until 4 o'clock downtown community rink on Saturday. Maybe Dusty will be playing in it. We'll see if LeBron plays tomorrow. If LeBron doesn't play tomorrow, then I guess Dusty might be staying in LA or something. But Tommy, his brother Paulie, MV Paulie, my brother, Coob, Trev, Benny, they'll be playing along with a couple of Nasties, and Team ESD will be taking on Team Heavy Hockey, all in support of Sexual Assault Center of Edmonton. One of the biggest fundraisers of this year is the Heavy Hockey Showdown. Looking for donations as well. EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Click on Heavy Hockey Showdown at the very top, and that's where you can go donate to the cause. And shout out to also to Baconator, who has donated, Dawn, Pat, we have Raptors fan, we have an anonymous person, and the Hammer Injury Law, Rick and Christine, a $500 donation from them. So shout out to them from Hammer Injury Law for that donation. EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Heavy Hockey Showdown is where you can donate, or you could just come also cheer us on Saturday as we look to defend our title. I think Baptized Big Uke's going to be is going to be one of the scorers. Look, I'm just going to say this, Baptized Big Uke. We're trailing a little bit. I expect the clock to stop a little sooner. We're leading. Yeah, I feel like you could let that clock bleed a little bit more that no one notices. Just saying. Who are you with? Team ESD or Team Heavy Hockey? And I know who you're with. So, I'll if you need me to get people to not focus on whatever, we could do. But we want to defend that title. And I'm not going to lie. Cash is our coach. I think El Presidente might maybe be our assistant coach. I'm the other assistant coach. I'm not afraid to play dirty games. Bill Belichick style.
Are you going to go nuclear?
I don't know what our nuclear line would be.
Probably Trev and Coop.
I want to see the kid line. Benny, Trev, and Coop out there.
Benny Two Scoops?
We'll have to see how that all fully plays out. Also, I do want to throw out there, just from the lock shop, since I'm still on the air, a lot already built up on Play Alberta EST specials. We have the Canada-US. We have a play for World Baseball Classic. Canada to beat Cuba. Mexico to beat Italy. And having under 4.5 runs. That's plus 450. Manchester City to win or draw. PSG, Chelsea both to score. Bodo Glimt to win. Plus 355. Our 2 golf plays. We got the top 10 with Morikawa and Oberg. Plus 970. We got our top 20. Patiek, Knapp, and Bridgman. That's at plus 2575. I also just threw my make the cut, Knapp, Bridgman, and Hogard. That's plus 215. And then the grandest parlay has been thrown up at plus 360. We still have your Screw It, Let's Do It to come. And we have Jay's Play of the Day. But we have populated that EST special like we always do. Big time.
No idea what you just said about all those players and teams.
What do you mean?
Go bet.
What do you mean?
But use your game sense.
You always use your game sense. What do you mean you don't have no idea?
What was that one team you said?
Bodo Glimt?
Yeah, what the hell's that?
They're a Norwegian side that this year they've beaten in 2026 Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, and 2 games against Inter. And now they're hosting Sporting. And today's game's in Norway, and it's like 7 degrees up there.
So you're saying they're going to win?
Well, that's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
What we're saying is that Manchester City's either going to win or a draw. We're going to say that PSG and Chelsea are both going to score a goal and Bodo Glimt's going to win, and we're going to have cashed a 355 ticket. We cashed yesterday, hoping to do it 2 straight days. You're just tuning me out on that soccer stuff. I thought you'd care a little bit more.
No, I just don't know about these teams. So,
Man City,
Actually,
PSG, Chelsea.
No, I know. But I don't know who they're playing.
Man City's going up against the Real Madrid. Your nephew's team, club from Spain.
Yes, I know. Sorry, I'm just getting someone off the chat here.
Thank you. Oh, there's a lot of messages that you just removed on that one.
Apologies for that. Apologies to whoever saw that too.
Oh, I got to mark something down. I just remembered. Sorry. I got to bring a GC for Saturday. It just remembered on that one. Okay. What's the big storyline what's the biggest key for the Oilers and the Stars tomorrow?
I mean, don't change anything. You're playing well. Everybody's hustling. The defensive game's improved. There's some lapses at times, but it happens. I guess the big one is the status of Connor Ingram. Don't expect, someone's going to come into the lineup because Doc didn't finish the game and Reek's hurt, so we'll see what happens there.
Did Emerson come back?
No.
No, he didn't either.
No.
Did we hear anything after the game? I missed the post-game
No, I don't think
presser.
So. They never have updates after the game. They always say the same thing. I haven't seen him yet. Talked to the doctors after. So we'll see.
Because that's the only thing that from yesterday is that you may have had a few too many injuries.
Yeah, 3 guys go down.
And look, it's not your most important players.
No, you have Stastny.
You have to have people that are ready to jump in, and you just don't want to be losing bodies.
Stastny's there, which is fine. 4th line guy. I mean, you can call up Max Jones. You can call up whoever. One of the young guys if you'd like. If Henrique's not ready to go, because if Henrique's ready to go, then that's your switch right there. The big one's Connor Ingram, of course. You don't want to see him miss any time, but they might take this carefully here. They might slow play it, and why not? You have to put some trust in Tristan Jarry. You went out and traded for him. I think they do have trust in Calvin Pickard if he has to play a few games here. But the last thing you want to do is rush Connor Ingram and then make things worse, right? So I think for this week, for these next 2 games, you might see Jarry Pickard. I keep wanting to call you Joaquin.
That's okay.
I'm so used to it.
That's it's a huge compliment.
So yeah, that's. I think I'll be honest. I know I joke about it, but I do think Dallas is due for a bad game. I do think the injuries will catch up to them eventually. They'll drop maybe 2 straight, maybe go 0-2-1 or something like that. It's going to happen.
Or they're going to be like the Oilers a couple of years ago, and they've got a 17
just keep
game
rolling,
win streak for a little
right?
period.
So
you never know.
I'm pretty confident in this team right now. I think they can go into Dallas and win.
Project Dumplings. Trent Frederick going to be our Fernando Pisani. Trent Frederick with a fight yesterday.
Yeah.
This guy's just been really playing well since the break.
I want to know where he went on his little vacation.
I think maybe just sat down and put up his leg on a couch and made sure that his ankle just healed a little bit better.
No, it's not that. Sorry, Matty.
You don't think that maybe there was just something that needed a little more healing?
No. 2 weeks is no. He was fine. If he's playing, he's fine.
I don't know. Chris Knobloch did make it. There's one reason I go to is right before Christmas. He made a mention of maybe he's still feeling some effects of it. That's why I go with that one. But whatever he's done, well, even if it wasn't that, if it was just going on a beach and laying in the sun or whatever it is,
right?
It was a full reset, and he's just been such a better player for the Edmonton Oilers.
He's been. I mean, this is his best stretch as an Oiler. Like, this is the guy we thought the Oilers were getting last March.
If the way he has played since the break to today or since yesterday, if that's what you get from Trent Frederick for the next 7 years, are people okay now with that contract?
Well, I don't think you'll get it for 7, but for the next 4.
Hey, let's say 6 years.
Yeah.
He's young enough.
Sure. I mean,
5 years.
Chipping in, fighting, being aggressive, mucking it up. Like, that's all we wanted to see, right? And maybe it's the new line he's on, too. Like, they got some life there, too. And keep in mind, he did play only 9 minutes yesterday, which is kind of bizarre because he's actually playing well, right? You think he'd play him a little bit more?
Well, he was sitting for 5 minutes at one point.
Yeah, he was. But a lot of guys were a lot higher than him, right?
But he was in the box.
I have a question. Right. I can't remember. For the major penalty, did the number one unit stay on the ice for the whole time?
Let me see if I could find power play time on ice. McDavid had 550. Hyman had 540. For Nugent 542. But Colson had 140. Roslovic had 129. Savoy had 133. So no. They had a couple. I would say looking at that, there would have been one or two shifts maybe for the other unit.
Okay. I can't remember if I saw the other unit.
No.
Maybe it was
Dickinson had 7 seconds of power play time on ice, so he was very little. He just probably as a change was happening at the end. But it was 140, 130, 29, and 133. So just trying to guess they would have been out there for at least one shift or so. So yeah.
Because that was to start the...
It was the end of the second, the start of the third. I think there was like 40-some seconds left or something like that in the second period, and then the start of the third.
Let's go to the shift chart. Let's see here. Okay, so Maddie, so they went on, and then he came out at 136. Yeah, and then he went back on at 229, came out at 404.
So they had 2 shifts?
Yeah.
2 shifts for that unit. Bayer Leverkusen up 1-0 on Arsenal, 49th.
Leverkusen?
Yeah.
Is that good for you?
I don't like Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
So I'd like them to lose.
Fair enough.
With all due respect to Steven Sandor. I don't want them to lose.
Hey, you see Alfonso got hurt again?
Yeah. Torn, what did I see on it?
But again, Maddie, why are you playing?
Although, very briefly here, because we've got like seconds left. Well, like 2 minutes left.
We got 2 minutes.
Oh, we also need someone to fire it over.
Who?
Oh, that's my computer quickly. Here's the one thing I was saying with Eric on the Hangout. Even let's say Alphonso Davies is healthy, but he's now clearly has something that he knows he can't go full out. Is that not better for Canada? Or if he knows he can't be the guy, he might not play like he's the guy. Because when Alphonso Davies is at his healthiest, sometimes it gets in the way of Canada.
This is crazy talk, and this is a hot take. I was thinking yesterday when I saw this news, I go, this might be the best thing for Canada.
I won't agree with the full best thing, but I would say it's not the worst thing necessarily.
No.
Because sometimes he tries to be the guy.
Yeah.
He overdoes it. You don't like him one-on-one. No. Tries to get past everyone. He doesn't spread the ball out enough.
The problem with Alphonso Davies is in Bayern Munich, he's a fantastic soccer player because he's structured, he sticks to his role, and he has a bunch of stars around him.
And he trusts his other players to do their roles.
On Team Canada, I'm sorry, but he thinks he's Lionel Messi, and he's not.
And he doesn't it doesn't seem like he trusts his teammates enough.
No.
And they're talented enough that he should. And that's why if he's a little skeptical about his own health, maybe he forces him to spread the ball a little bit more. It might be the best thing for Canada. What's coming up on EST Afternoons?
Yeah, obviously recap this game. We'll talk about 83 points. Surpassing the great Kobe Bryant. Second now on that list. Go around the world of sports. We'll do Hernan's World as well. And Sam Nestler will join us from DLLS Sports in Dallas to talk Dallas Stars. Joaquin, I was going to say again. Sorry, Matthew.
Hernan, Gager, Koob, that's coming up from 1 until 3. We got the Reed Wilkins Show with Jamie Reed interviewing Shaquille O'Neal today.
Shaq.
That's coming up as well, 3 to 6. Crush Performance, heavy hockey on our audio streams after 6 o'clock here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. We're also 5 minutes away or so. Canada, Cuba. Canada wins. They move on. 5 minutes left to place that bet on Play Alberta if you want to jump in on our special for that one. On behalf of Koob, who's setting us up here on the Oil Stream and getting set for EST Afternoons, and Hernan Salas, I'm Iwanyk. Thanks for tuning in to the Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza right here in Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Hernan, Gager, Koob coming up with the EST Afternoons. Don't go anywhere.